Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you an example of Zorga deck list for set 3. This is the list I used to win FRF, which consists of 32 participants. I'm going to explain my tag and later on I will suggest some of the changes and idea that you can do. Starting off with the right line, nothing special, just your typical Zorga right line. For the normal unique lineup, we have 4 copy of Headhunter. Still the best grade 1 for Zorga. It can be a 13k booster or attacker. And the most important part of this skill is it reduces the alchemy cost for counterblast. So make sure to run 4 copy of it. Next, 3 copy of Fairy of Tragic Love. This card's main purpose is to be used as extra attack on your early turn and a booster with a on hit pressure later on, which is important to unbreak yourself. Next, 4 copy of Perfect Guard. Nothing special, you need Perfect Guard in your deck. Then, for the grade 2, we still run 4 copy of Hendrina. This deck is very soul heavy and Hendrina does help with it. Next, the new triple R for set 3, Shadowcloak. This will also be run as 4 copy. This card basically allows you to mill any order that isn't in your drop zone. It helps the deck to be more consistent and allow you to run 1 copy of order that you can actually see it. His second skill is when you use an order Soul Blast 1 and gain 5k, then if you use Alchemy Magic, it also can return another Brigade to your hand. This skill is amazing since you can use it to bounce trigger, Perfect Guard or Persona Right copy. This skill allows you to plus more and is actually very good. For grade 3, just 3 copy of Persona Right and nothing else. Order lineup. First order is 3 copy of Grief, Despair and Rejection. Still is the best order we have. Basically Counterblast 1 for Persona Right power, helps Zorga to hit numbers, steal your main win con. The moment you stop using GDR for a turn, you're probably losing already. Make sure to get to use it every single turn. Next, 2 copy of Regurgitation. This card is both good and bad. It's good when you're not facing Bastion and it's actually very bad when you face Bastion. So I might recommend run less of this card if there like a lot of Bastion in your local or something and run more Spiritual Body Condensation. Speaking of Spiritual Body Condensation, we still run 1 copy of Spiritual Body Condensation in this deck, which is fine. Kind of wish I run 2 copy of it, but 1 is still enough because turn 3 I use the Alchemy Magic with this card, then turn 4 I use Regurgitation. And sometimes the Fairy does help me get this order back to my hand. 1 copy of Agony Order. Only use this card if you have Hendrina skill, except when you're facing Barrow Madness that already reached 50 soul already. This card becomes better with Shadowcloak because you can always bounce the trigger or Persona Right that you call from this skill, so it's actually a plus instead of minus from that calling a trigger to your field. And lastly, 1 copy of Nectar of Sensation. This is a nice costless order, but I don't think I used this order at all last FRF, so you might want to run other card instead. So I do recommend extra Spiritual instead of this card. For the trigger lineup, you run the Over Trigger, 4 Effect Front, 4 Effect Crit, 4 normal Crit, and Heal Trigger. You still run 4 Front because you need a shield, because everything hit like a truck in set 3 and you need all the shield you can. The 5k does matter in a lot of situations. Here are some nice tech choice for you guys to try. So first, Fleet Solver. It got a better door effect, which is very nice, but this deck is very soul heavy already, so I wouldn't recommend it. Carry on Processing. This card is counterblast 1 and allow you to grab any order from your drop zone by binding itself. It's a very good card to help you to salvage bad order in your drop zone. You can run this card instead of Fairy if you want, but it costs CB, so be careful. The Black Magic Order. This order is fine. Counterblast 4 to draw 2. Reduce the cost for each bound card. So if you have Headhunter and you use Alchemy Magic turn 4, so it should only cost 1 CB, so it isn't the worst card, so you can give it a try. Next, Miscreant Beating. It's a very decent card too. It's one of the strongest beater late game. It gains 5k for each bound order, so from turn 5 onward, this should be your biggest hitter on the field. That is all from my Zorga deck profile. If you have any question, do ask in the comment section below. I will of course answer it.